Welcome to the Business Owner Spotlight. My name is Dan O'Brien. I'm a senior partner here at Action Coach in Central Texas, and I am honored to be sitting down with Daniel Wisian, the owner of Tech One Automotive, a general auto body shop here in the Austin area. Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time and sitting down with me today.
Thank you, Tanner. And we're actually an auto repair shop. We don't do body work.
Oh, I apologize. Well, in that case, I'm going to turn it over to you, Daniel. Why don't you share a little bit about Tech One Automotive and a little bit more about the business overall and what you all do?
Okay. We opened up in 1999. I was opened up as a one-man shop. Decided to start my own business. Did it that way for a few years. Added a technician and a service advisor, and eventually we moved across the street. We're on Burnett Road in North Austin. So we went from 2-bay shop to a 5-bay shop. Had about 3 technicians. We work on a little bit of everything. Japanese American. We start off specializing in Hondas and Toyotas, but since then we've kept growing. Now we have 10 technicians, and we have guys that specialize in the European cars as well as Japanese cars and diesels as well. So we can cover just about anything nowadays. One thing that we've done to set us apart from our competition is we do offer a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty on almost every repair. And we do have free loaner cars that are available. I think we're up to 8 loaner cars now. So if you need to leave your car here for a day or two, we can set it up so that you have one and not be inconvenienced that way. We have 4 service advisors that are ready to answer the phone anytime you call. We don't use voicemail or anything. We're on the phone live at all times, and our goal is just to give the best service of any shop or even other businesses around, and that's what we build our reputation on. So now we've been in business, like I said, about 23 years now, and we're just enjoying it. And we have a really good crew here, good culture, and we're growing. We're still growing. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations on being that many years in business. It's maybe as sad as it sounds, we don't come across as many businesses that make it 10 plus years. So congratulations, that is truly an accomplishment.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, wasn't easy. We've had our hard times, of course, and came close to losing it all, but that was 15 years ago, so we're good now.
That's good. That's excellent. So I'm curious, when you look at the type of client or customer that you desire to work with the most, or are just kind of the most fun to work with, or the cars that are most fun to kind of work on for your team, is there anything that kind of stands out that just kind of sets apart your favorite or your best customers or clients versus anything else?
I would say we do enjoy working with women, and they're 25, 35, 40 years, just women with kids that need help, and they're really the ones that are bringing the cars in and making the decisions now. And so we kind of like working with them a lot. They just want to have a safe car, and we treat them right, but they're not the do-it-yourselfers that try to fix it first and then bring it in here. They just want somebody. They want a professional to take care of it. So that's probably our ideal customer.
Beautiful. So looking at being in the industry, especially 20 some years now, is this kind of always the industry that you had kind of sought out growing up, or was this how did you get into this industry specifically?
My father was in the auto repair or automotive dealership. He was in the parts side. He was a parts salesman, and then my older brother became a heavy equipment mechanic. He's 6 years older than me. So I started working on things when I was 13, 12 years old, lawnmowers, mini bikes. So I always wanted to do it. Right out of high school, I started working for a dealership as a trainee. And even then, I knew I wanted to have my own shop sometime, someday. So it took a few years. that was in '83 is when I started out as a technician's helper, and then went up from there. It took I think 16 years before I opened my own shop. So, but it's always been a dream.
Awesome. Was there any like, primary catalyst at that point when you chose to make that leap from, working for somebody else and open up your own shop?
I guess the main catalyst was I figured I could do it. I knew that, I mean, I see how people are treated at dealerships. I worked at a lot of dealerships, and I said, I can do it better. And I still didn't realize what they went through at even the dealerships. My service, my managers, I was like, now I realize they had a tough job. So, but my goal was always to do it better and give better service. And of course, be independent and have more freedom to spend with my family, which we have now. We didn't have it for a few years though. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I always like to ask the question because I know that for most business owners, and you can tell me if your journey is any different than this or not, but for most business owners that, getting into business for themselves and going along the journey, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever it is, it's almost never a perfectly linear path. There's some ups, there's some downs, kind of all around. I'd love to kind of hear what were, if any, kind of big hurdles or roadblocks that you had to overcome that really were, I don't know, momentous or defining moments for you as a business owner, or for, your business to actually overcome and be able to grow to its current level?
My biggest hurdle was myself. I didn't know how to run a business. I was an auto technician, like a lot of new business owners are. They're technicians in their craft, and they don't know. They think it's just easy enough to go start a business. So I struggled for a long time. We would have months that I thought we were busy, but we didn't have any money. Then we were slow and we had money. So it took me a long time to finally get the help to run a business. So that was my biggest struggle. Once I did that, that was 7 years ago, things started smoothing out. So that was definitely, if I had to do it over again, I would learn how to run a business from the beginning.
It's fantastic. I'd love to dive into that a little bit if we could. What was in making, or getting to that realization of I need to learn how to run a business? Was there anything that really kind of prompted that specifically for you, and kind of what kind of guidance did you seek out that has made the impact that it has today?
I guess realizing that I should probably know how to. I should know what a P&L statement is, and honestly, I thought back then, I thought that was for my accountant to look at the end of the year. And somebody said some guy came in. It might have been a customer that knew his numbers. We were talking about it. And he was like, "Have you seen your balance sheet?" I said, "I mean, what's that?" And talking about equity and all this, and it's like he said, "You're not doing very well." And so that was probably the moment that I realized I really need some help. So we were doing okay. We were surviving and making decent money, more than I would have done as a technician. But that was kind of what sparked me to get some help. And I already had heard of some companies that help auto repair shops. Interviewed a few of them, went with one of them, and right away he told me what we were doing wrong, and he was right. And so I've been with an automotive management company since then, where I go to conferences and learn all about the business. So that's helped us grow from 15 to now. We've grown by more than 400%, and we'll do it again next year to 500. We're growing and growing really quickly since that's taking place. So
That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic to hear. Congratulations on that. So as you look at the last, 7 years, I imagine there might have been some learnings and things like that took place as you really made that transition to, running the business as a business, that sort of thing. What were some of the top lessons that you individually learned in growing your business to what's been able to be accomplished in the last 7 years?
I guess the very beginning was I needed some more help up front to help me run it. I had one person helping me at the time. I needed somebody else. we had a couple guys in the back, but they, like I said, I needed more help up front. As soon as I did that, that changed everything real quick. And from there, it was just learning which step to grow in, front of the house or back of the house. And, we could get all the work we needed, but did we have the right crew in the back? Once we got that ironed out, it started becoming a steady growth pattern. So that's kind of I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know that I needed help up front. I thought I just needed more help out back, but I was looking at it the wrong way. So
That's fantastic. Awesome. So we've talked a lot about kind of the journey and how you got to where you are today, and I do want to be respectful of the time that we have together here. So let's kind of shift focus to the future and kind of what's to come. I heard you mention that there's some potential for some amazing continued growth over the next year. What are you excited about, either in your industry or in with your business specifically? What are you most excited for in the next year, the next 5 years? Kind of what gets you fired up as you look towards the future?
I guess what fires me up is just I love my job right now. I kind of work at my own pace now. Do most of my work from my office at home. But what really, I guess I'm having fun, so I really want to keep growing the business. I'm looking at other locations in the Central Texas area. I want to have I want to have opportunity for all my employees to grow with me. So best way to do that is to open more locations. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to right now. Really hope to have something done by the end of next year. The market around here for real estate is not real great. It's a little expensive. Industrial properties are kind of going away in the Austin area, but we're keeping our eye out.
Yes, it's definitely been an interesting time over the last couple years, but definitely in the last year or so on real estate in general in this incredibly fast growing area that we have the pleasure to live in. No, that's fantastic. So, Daniel, as we look at, or if you were to look back at, 18-year-old you, is there any piece of advice that you would give yourself, knowing, in hindsight, what this journey has been like for you?
Yes, I would have definitely got a little more education in business. And I would have probably partied a little less back then and studied a little harder. And I guess the main thing is when I opened my business, I wish I would have had a little bit more money saved up before I opened my business. So that I didn't have much. So that's what made us come real close to closing down a time or two, but we didn't do it. We made it.
Hey, that's fantastic. All right. So I want to be respectful of the time that we have here today. So I've got kind of one question I'd love to end on with this interview series. But before we jump into that, for those that are watching or listening, how can they find out more about Tech One Automotive? How can they connect with you if they want to? Kind of what's the best path forward if our listeners want to learn a little bit more?
If you want to get connected, hear about Tech One Automotive, you can go to our website at techoneauto.com or call us at 512-407-8530. I'm on LinkedIn. I don't do much with LinkedIn, but I do look at it a lot. That's how I've met you guys, I think. So on LinkedIn under Daniel Wisian. So those are the best ways to do it.
Excellent. And we'll make sure to kind of put that information down in the video description here below. So if y'all get the chance, check them out, learn even more about what they're up to. If you're here in the Austin area, stop by, check them out, kind of go have some conversations and see if there's some business can be done here in the future. So with that, I want to end kind of on our final question here. And Daniel, that is, what is most inspiring to you today?
I guess the most inspiring is probably my grandkids. I've just become a grandfather for the fourth time. So I just want to spend as much time possible with my kids and wife and grandkids. that's what keeps me really motivated.
Oh, that's amazing. I've got two kids of my own, and my parents continue to always remind me that it's so much more fun to be a grandparent than it is a parent, because they get them all wild up and send them
Yeah,
back home with me. So that's always a fun thing to look at, right?
it really
Uh,
is.
well, Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to be here and share a little bit about your story, your path, and helping us, learn a little bit more about Tech One Automotive. But sincerely, thank you for taking the time to join me today.
You're welcome, Tanner. Thank you.